7 Deadliest Tsunamis of All Time. When you hear the word tsunami, we're sure all you can imagine is destruction and crushing waves. But some tsunamis have been bigger than ever. An average tsunami moves about 200 meters per second or over 700 kilometers per hour. But some have broken past the average and are considered the deadliest tsunamis of all time. Welcome to our YouTube channel. Today we'll delve deep into the world's deadliest tsunamis. But first, click the Ocean on Earth subscribe button to learn more about the mysteries of the deep waters. Then stick around to learn more about tsunamis. So, without further ado, let's explore the deadliest tsunamis of all time. At number 7, we have the Lituya Bay megatsunami. The Fireweather Fault was the site of a significant earthquake that rocked southeast Alaska on July 9, 1958. A megatsunami wave produced by the disruptions caused by the earthquake reached a height of 1,720 feet or 516 meters near the head of Lituya Bay. The wave's astronomical height and its mysterious origin were perplexing. There were doubts about whether the inlet at the top of the bay had enough water to generate a severe wave that could soar to such a great height. At number 6, we've got Vaillant Dam Tsunami. In the Vaillant Gorge, the Della del Vaillant, a dam was constructed to provide hydraulic electricity to northern Italy. On October 9, 1996, a collapse prompted 50 million gallons of fresh water to overtop a barrier in a wave that rose as high as 250 meters, inflicting severe flooding and devastation to Entails, a process valley below the dam. On the border separating Vento and Friuli Venezia Giulia, at the summit of Montauk, 260 million cubic meters of granite broke off and plunged into the dam's reservoir. 2,000 individuals were killed in this incident, roughly one-third of the inhabitants of Longron. The key lesson from this occurrence is that you must ensure the terrain and geological parameters are stable enough before damming a stream and building a reservoir. Here comes number 5, the Indian Ocean Tsunami. A seismic tremor measuring 9.1 on the Richter scale occurred off the west coast of Sumatra, Indonesia on December 26, 2004, 58:53 Universal Time Coordinated. The epicenter was located 250 kilometers southwest of Banda Aceh, 30 kilometers beneath the ocean surface. The wave started to hit the Nicobar Islands and northern Sumatra's coastlines 15 minutes after the earthquake. Aceh is the most severely affected province, with waves as high as 30 meters. After the earthquake, waves were felt in Sri Lanka, India, and Thailand for almost 2 hours. They arrived in the Maldives an hour later, and the tsunami was seen in Mauritius and along the east coast of Africa more than 7 hours after the first earthquake. Numerous people were killed and injured by the tsunami waves. Thousands were relocated, and towns, houses, livelihoods, infrastructure, and coastal areas were all severely damaged. India, Indonesia, Malaysia, Maldives, Myanmar, Sri Lanka, Seychelles, Thailand, and Somalia were the nations most severely impacted. The Maldives had experienced financial losses equivalent to almost 45% of its total GDP, while Indonesia experienced losses totaling 4.5 billion, or all of the GDP of Aceh. Number 4 would be the Sanriku, Japan. The worst tsunami in Japanese history struck on June 15, 1896, killing nearly 22,000 people. The tsunami, caused by an upheaval of Sanriku, Japan's coast, rose to a height of 25 meters, or 80 feet, and as soon as it hit the shore, it swept away all the buildings and everybody inside them. After the little earthquake, a sizable tsunami pounded Sanriku's coastline. The tallest wave was 38.2 meters high. The tsunami killed 22,066 individuals and destroyed 8,891 homes, inflicting severe damage. Here's another fact. You'll be surprised to know that a significant amount of water is moved due to the earthquake. Tsunami waves don't truly grow in height when they occur far out at sea. The waves get faster and more significant as they move inland. When the water waves hit the shoreline, this may inflict imminent damage. You may have read it in the news about various tsunamis. Because of its complicated geography, the Sanriku coastline is particularly vulnerable to tsunamis. Due to the tsunami timing earthquake at high tide, the Sanriku tsunami was particularly damaging. Nothing was done to avert future tsunami disasters after the Sanriku tsunami. Before we move on to the next one, ensure that you're subscribed to the channel. Remember guys, to fight off tsunamis, subscribe to us so we can inform you of what you must do in these situations. Just like the video as well. Here are the top 3 deadliest tsunamis of all time. At number 3, Krakatau volcano tsunami. One instance of a tsunami brought on by an eruption is the Krakatau volcano explosion in Indonesia on August 27, 1883. The blast caused a 30-meter high tsunami in the Sunda Strait, which washed away 165 coastal communities in Java and Sumatra and killed over 36,000 people. Additionally, it resulted in atmospheric pressure changes that seemed to have aroused water waves by releasing energy into the ocean. As a result, sea level changes were detected on tide gauges at places more than 7,000 kilometers away from the source. Do you know that for 3 years after the Krakatau eruption, flaming crimson sunsets could be seen worldwide due to the volcanic material that was left behind? According to poet and London resident Gerard Manley Hopkins, the Krakatau sunsets are more like inflamed flesh than the lucid reds of ordinary sunsets. At number 2, Alaska earthquake and tsunami. The biggest registered earthquake in US history devastated Alaska's Prince William Sound at 5:36 p.m. local time on March 27, 1964, Universal Time Coordinated. Over 139 people died due to the 9.2 magnitude earthquake and associated tsunamis that devastated coastal villages. Large portions of Alaska, the Western Yukon Territory, and British Columbia were all affected by the strong earthquake, which lasted almost 5 minutes. For 3 weeks following the quake, aftershocks persisted. Damage from the earthquake and following tsunamis was estimated to be worth $2.3 billion. A day after the quake, President Lyndon Johnson designated the whole state of Alaska as a major disaster area. About $110 million was spent by the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers on clearing debris, reconstructing towns, and fixing infrastructure. Since the Great Alaska Earthquake occurred more than 55 years ago, the tsunami warning centers now give tsunami warnings minutes rather than hours after a significant earthquake happens. And finally, at number 1, Nankaido, Japan. At 2 p.m. local time, on October 28, 1707, the high earthquake rocked south-central Japan. It was the biggest earthquake in Japanese history at the time. This persisted for 304 years until the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant was devastated in 2011 by the Sendai earthquake. The subsequent catastrophic tsunami, which resulted from the earthquake's strength, killed more than 5,000 people as well as damaged Osaka. Nearly 30,000 buildings were harmed and damaged overall, and 30,000 people died. The only tremor known to have ruptured all of Nankai's megathrust segments simultaneously was this one, which occurred in 1707 and had a calculated magnitude of 8.6 or 8.7 on the Richter scale. It is also claimed to have been the catalyst for Mount Fuji's final eruption, which occurred 49 days later. These tsunamis were among the deadliest the world had ever seen. Here are some precautions for your protection. Please like, subscribe, and share this video if you liked it. Please share your knowledge of tsunamis or tsunami preparedness measures in the comment section down below. Bye and thank you for watching. See you in the next one.